There's a nationwide epidemic of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls.
And Arizona, with 22 federally recognized tribes, is at the epicenter. Now on your side's Luz Delia Caballero breaks down the alarming numbers.
Red is the color of missing and murdered Indigenous persons because when a soul is lost in many cultures, it is the only color they can see.
According to a study funded by the National Institute of Justice, in some U.S. counties, Native women are 10 times more likely to be murdered than the national average. This is the reality of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. The following pictures come from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Jane Doe, 2002, body found in October. She's between the age of 16 and 22, Hispanic, found inside the DOE2009 Nation. Jane Doe, 2007, discovered in July, between the age of 13 to 17, Hispanic, also found inside the DOE2009 Nation. Jane Doe, 2009, body found in October, between the age of 16 to 21, Hispanic, found inside the DOE2009 Nation.
The numbers are shocking. However, it's not something that's going to be new to Indian country.
Kagan 9 went to the Pasquayaqui Tribal Courthouse in October. Alfred Urbina, an associate judge with the Pasquayaqui tribe, explains why thousands of girls are going missing, being murdered in Arizona.
There are things that are unique to Arizona that we can look to, specifically the border, human trafficking, sex trafficking, the common domestic violence case.
Another study funded by the National Institute of Justice shows in the U.S., 4 in 5 Indigenous women experience violence in their lifetime, including sexual assault and domestic and family violence. That's a higher rate compared to women of other ethnicities.
When you're more afraid of something that's in your house versus running out into the darkness, that's the reality that a lot of these women and children find themselves in.
The CDC found in 2017, homicide was the 4th leading cause of death for Native American girls between the ages of 1 to 19 and the 6th leading cause of death for the 20 to 44 age group. Urbina says substance abuse, lack of housing, and even unemployment can contribute to abuse toward Indigenous women and girls.
We do know that there is a fetish market for Native women in human trafficking.
But Arizona State Representative Jennifer Germain says this crisis can be solved.
We don't want people to fall through the cracks when they cross a jurisdictional line. We know that that is where cases are going cold.
In 2019, Representative Germain helped create the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls Task Force.
There are 22 members of the task force, and we built a cross-jurisdictional committee that includes state leaders, federal leaders, tribal leaders, our healthcare workers, and our social workers.
Urbina also sits on the task force, currently working on Indian country as a former prosecutor and former police officer.
The charge for the task force was to find out, is this happening? How often is it happening? Why is it happening?
So where is the system failing?
People will often be misclassified as Hispanic when in fact they're Indigenous and they're a member of a tribe, whether it's Pasquayaqui, Tohono-O'odham, Navajo.
The missing cases is extremely hard to quantify because they don't exist in law enforcement databases. It's not a crime for an adult to go missing.
You don't see TV specials about what happened, whether or not the person was found. So in a sense, they are invisible to everybody but their family.
Culturally, when matriarchs go missing,
it is extremely disruptive. In some cultures, it's a break in the family lineage, in the clan system. A lot of times you see the children go into the foster care or the ICWA system.
If your family member has gone missing or has been murdered, this is what you can do.
File an incident report with your local law enforcement agency. Number 2, upload your loved one's information into the National Missing Persons Database, which is NamUs.
Now's the time for families to start reaching out, go back and ask more questions.
Don't let anybody drop the ball.
Members of the task force say this is just the beginning. There's more to be done, and they plan on bringing change and awareness through continued research. Luz Delia Caballero, Kagan 9, on your side.
It's been such a big problem for far too long.